Caught in the circle of fear and hatred, violence seemed my only way out.
It must have been my imagination. It makes me very desperately alone in the pits.
Still, it's too risky, too uncontrolled.
Saved his life.
The after effects? How about them?
You've lost the urge to experiment, to explore.
Don't explore, keep.
Welcome, welcome, welcome all. Sorry it took a little longer than I anticipated, but I had to get some things situated over here on the side. But it looks like we got everything set up and ready to go. What up, my people? Sorry I took the weekend off. I had obligations to attend to, prior obligations to attend to. So, yeah, whatever. I don't know if I tweeted, was it before I left Austin? We had 24 hours before we made a big move. Well, we would know in 24 hours, and it seems that was true. Although I was little low key hoping I was gonna be able to get back into the charts by Sunday and still be sideways, but didn't get that opportunity. Anyways, let's dive into it right the fuck now. Let's get into BTC. So Bitcoin looks rather flat. Like, to be honest, it looks really flat. You know, it does. And that is something to be aware of, no doubt. And another thing that's super important to be aware of at this aspect right now is this. If we close like this, that's creating a double negative. And this, I guarantee you, this will roll over. I guarantee it. I guarantee you. Bitcoin will roll over. I don't know what the hell that the rest of the market will do, but Bitcoin will roll over. Yeah, definitely would roll over for a fact. I just don't see it. This close has to come. Let me tell you right now. This close, today's close, it absolutely needs to be over 3,625. I'm saying positively bullish. I'm not saying it's bullish. I'm saying it's positively bullish. If we close underneath that point, this is no doubt about a bearish setup. For a fact. For a fact, a bearish setup. And what would you do to validate this bearish setup? It's very simple. It's not complex. It's not rocket science. Yes, I'm looking at Elliott Wave right here as well with my eyes. But the simplest way is as soon as it breaks under that low, you anticipate this rolling back over and not being able to get over that. You just short that, aim for this low, close out 80% here, and then shoot for the last 20% for a closeout here. And if it reaches here, 100% long this with a stop at a 1.236 extension, because this could create a flat like this, which I can see doing. And it could stop some people out thinking they got the bottom right here easily. And how do you distinguish that? So it's very simple. We'll go here to the base. Wrong. Wrong. Wrong tool. So this max extension will allow for this retrace until we invalidate this bullish setup. Is this. I will not allow for any retrace beyond this point. Any retrace beyond this point is inherently bearish. Inherently bearish. A retrace to this zone is extremely bearish. And a retrace to this zone with volume and a single close with a daily or a 10-hour beneath this zone, and it is 100% bearish. And this will seek 1400 after this point. I'm just being a realist here. This is how it is. This is how markets go. This is numbers. Have no bias. Absolutely zero bias at this point. I don't give a fuck where the price goes. I just care about making money. That's all I care about. What is positive is this: we're in this wave 3 of this potential last leg, or potential. There's a few things with Bitcoin. Bitcoin's count it's just atrocious. It's absolutely garbage. Like this, is this a 5? This is what we have to be. Like, who knows? You know, the time frame analysis works due to. Let's check this real quick. So the wave 2 was all this A, B, C. This entire expanded flat right here. And look where wave 4 hit. Look where wave 4 hit, you guys. Look where this shit's not rocket science. This shit's not rocket science. The first target you should look for is a 1-to-1 for a trend change. After that, you shoot for 1.326, the dead cat zone. And look how not I wouldn't say important, but look how these times reacted with price. It's no coincidence that this works. There's no real definition how to do this, but in my opinion, kind of have a feel for how it looks, how time should look in regards to waves. See how perfect that was? It's literally nutty. So at this point, we got a slight trend change, but we get the official trend change to this point right here when we created technically a new high within this range. I know it wasn't this high, but within this range, within this downtrend, we created a new high. I was away for all this action. I'm sorry. But I'm just trying to teach you in hindsight what to look for in terms of market structure and stuff. So, let's do another thing real quick. Let's just check some extensions real quick. You bitch. I need to adjust my mouse speed. It's a little too fast for my liking right now. So the extraordinary thing about crypto is oftentimes the longest wave is not 3. It is 5. So, with this understanding, it is very possible that we're just in 5 right now. And this can technically extend as far as it possibly can, as it wants. It can. It literally can. That's how this is how rules are. Will it? I highly doubt it. This will get a retrace. Bitcoin was a lot weaker than the rest of the market, to be honest, and that's because the big money is in the other coins. And I was literally today when I did a quick little scan of the market when I was at my friend's house, and I was like, I just looked at this, I was like, the whales are just playing with their money across the entire market, flipping their money in bag after bag after bag after bag, and it was only a matter of time until ETH got shot. And look what happened. ETH got shot, and look, some of them are starting to transition over here to Bitcoin. And we got some plebes coming in here to Bitcoin. And the last coin to pop off will be Bitcoin. Out of all of them. Out of all of them. The money will flow back into Bitcoin at last. Yes, this indeed is gonna happen. I think it's gonna be due for a retrace. So be very mindful if you're shorting this. For this retrace right here. What was that? No, 2 points. So one of my biggest rules is the gold zone flip. It's fairly simple. It's not rocket science. It's fairly simple. After any advancement up, if you get a retrace greater than this, and then a flip. But what's a flip? This is where a lot of people get trapped. Because there's no, you can retrace all the way down here and still turn around and come back up, clear these highs. You can. But what's the difference is how the basing is looked. How the basing is looking. If you don't understand that, one of the tricks that I teach people in my Discord, is using RSI, and we use a system called value range, and it just lets us know if certain points don't cross certain points at a certain time, then it's not going to be true, and it's going to roll back over. But this looks like shit. Bitcoin looks like shit. So I'm gonna be watching this. I'm not gonna say to short this. That's in my opinion right now. It'd be pretty dumb to be shorting. In my opinion, you'd be unless you're gonna be on top of your shit, like I am. Then you don't short, because you won't be able to manage your money and your feelings fast enough, just in case shit goes wrong. Because you won't be able to handle even a minimal loss before it becomes too great. Just don't take that risk unless you're fairly confident with yourself and your skills and your scalping abilities. I just would not take that risk at all. And I honestly won't even myself, because I'm probably just gonna go to bed after this. But that's the zones I'm watching for Bitcoin for sure, like 100% sure. If I look at RSI, it's very simple to be what I'm watching. Right there. If we get a retrace beyond this point, it's fairly simple. It's not rocket science. It's really not rocket science. It's honestly classical PA, but it's just using RSI to identify which points are more appropriate to point out. Because I'm not a PA trader. In my opinion, I don't trust PA enough to get enough information from this to tell me where it's going. I need more. So how I get more out of this, I use Elliott Wave and RSI to signify which points are more valid, which points in time and price that are more valid in terms of fib extensions and retracements in time, and then also incorporating volume. It all plays into effect. Moving on. Next. So I suppose we should look. Let's see here. The unfortunate thing, I got stopped out right here, and I got stopped out right here, and I tried to enter again right here, and I never got picked up over the weekend. Unfortunate. That's why I happen to get greedy sometimes, try to get the lowest low. Nah, sometimes you just buy into you just market buy, you know, and I didn't do it for some reason. It's whatever though. So the great C. Let's just look at extensions so we could dignify exactly what pattern we had. I already know what we're gonna get here. So it's gonna be like a 1.236. Watch. Bang! Right to the dot. Shaboom. Right in a dead cat zone. See that? So useful. The dead cat zone is the money spot for your flats, and I promise you, money spots for your flats. Absolute money. I've literally used this so many times. And this zone right here was for this move. Cause at first, what was it? Let's see, what extension was that? I think it was this right here. It's going over notes. I hate that. I absolutely hate that. I wish it looks a little. My dyslexic ass can't. So yeah, it was this extension right here. You notice a lower pivot with a higher retrace allowed for a higher retrace at the low as well, which made an expanding running flat. I get a running flat or expanding flat, where it breaks the high and then breaks the low. It expands the price action. A running flat is when, let's say here, the barrier keeps going up. It runs up with the trend still. You get to your impulse, whatever. And the price action literally looks like it's sideways, you know. So, what's up with Ethereum? Because Ethereum is going to be the hottest coin to be trading, in my opinion, for the month in terms of volatility. And you're going to want to be trading this pair if you know what you're doing. You don't want to be trading any other pair besides maybe EOS or something like that. I don't know. But this is going to move up and down. And you better be on top of your shit. And I'm going to try to keep you on top of that shit as much as possible. Right now I'm just drawing trend lines. Trend lines are just memes unless you know what you're doing with your trend lines. Okay, so you see how this trend line's broken? So it's invalid. These points are invalid at this point, in my opinion. So now we broke this. So if we close above this, I want to long the motherfucker like a piece of shit. I'm going to be very curious to see how Ethereum pivots over these next few days. See here, the volume profile is very peculiar. Is this Coinbase? Let's go to Coinbase real quick. Coinbase. Okay, yeah, let's get Coinbase charts a little bit better in terms of trust. I know, I hate to say that, but trustworthiness. I guess we could use Coinbase. Sounds so fucking disgusting. So I'm just gonna map out, because that was a low. The low is here. Okay, just making sure. But this can expand all the way up to this golden zone, as long as we don't as long as the retrace holds a specific point that we will discuss later on. And not right now. I guess I should put that 1-to-1 up, huh? And the fork is what? The 27th? Let's check this real quick. 27th. Okay. Oh, that's. Wait, what the fuck? The price not changing. So you want to be, in my opinion, you don't want to even be in Ethereum at that point. It's just too much risk. So 25th. So in my opinion, Ethereum shouldn't retrace much from this point. In my opinion, it really shouldn't. It shouldn't. In my opinion, if they're clear a clear 5, right? Two, and now we're in a subwave of 3. In my opinion, that's just a super clean structure for subwaves. Super clean. Like it's very hard to refute that clean of price action. And by the way, if this indicator that you're seeing on the screen is indeed Chevy S strategy, and you see it worked pretty efficiently on this 2-hour and the 1-hour as well. I know in here you got chopped up a little bit here. If you're on top of your shit, you would have pulled out. Luckily, our trailing stop would have got you out of some of the trade before. You got out here, and out here way before even they flipped us short. So you would have saved your ass there. So it's coming in handy. Same here. Would have saved your ass here. Flipped you long. I like keeping it up because it's actually a fairly good indicator in my opinion. You could trust it, in my opinion. So what's going on with Ethereum? Let's check it. Like I said, in my opinion, that's a clear 5. So until proven wrong, this is how I'm gonna go about my analysis. Well, this is how I've been going about my analysis now. Until I'm proven wrong, I'm right. Seriously. That might sound cocky, but if you for an instance think your analysis is incorrect, then why the fuck are you even doing it or trading it? You have no reason to. If you even have for a second doubt yourself. You have to be irrefutable, super arrogant about what your analysis. You can't be ignorant in what your analysis and emotional. You have to be arrogant, stern. You know what you want, know what to expect, know what you need to see. If you don't see it, you know what to do. Follow your rules. In my opinion, if Bitcoin's in a 1 and 2, it is possible. It just wouldn't make really sense though. Usually they're on the same page, so it's just very, very difficult to gauge what Bitcoin's gonna do, to be honest. Because if this is indeed finally a 5 of impulse, a wave 2 retrace should take way too long, in my opinion. Unless it's like a quick 1-2 like that, like a quick 1-2 like that. But even then, you're just running out of time at that point in Ethereum's aspect. Let's look at. So it looks like if we close here, we'll get bearish divergence in a 2-hour, a 1-hour, and probably the 30-minute. Yep. But one thing that you have to be very mindful of is this volume right here. I know if you bump it out, it looks bearish right now. But in my opinion, this could just be, like I said, a subwave of 3. Like, it's a 1, 2. All could be like 1 of 3. And this thing could start running. And then during the fork or whatever, like, it's possible like, it retraces a little bit, gets that a piece of shit wave 5, and then turns over. We'll see. It's gonna be very interesting to see what happens, because I'll tell you what, and I'll tell you again. I don't know if you've listened to me bullshit before on my previous high time frame analysis, but there's really not many other opportunities in terms of buying a low for Ethereum left. What's that mean? It looks like Ethereum could find a definite bottom at this point, and I'll tell you why. This is a clear ABC, clear as day. You can't refute that. 3 wave, 5 wave, ABC. Now, I'll tell you what could happen though. This could extend. This could form a W, X, and a 2-degree smaller sub count, which in my opinion, this is 2 degrees smaller than this entire move. So, let's do this. Let's get a rough. Look at this. Look at that. Boom. Isn't that crazy? It's not rocket science, guys. If you just read the book a little bit and just pick out little clues, then you can start using the tools that they give you and start formulating ideas around it. I see people use this fib tool thing, but they don't have no ideas. Like, oh, well, this could potentially be, oh, this is potentially, oh, but this one too, oh, but this one too. Like, dude, you don't know what you're talking about then. No idea. X wave, 2 degrees smaller. This is 0.2. $20. I know it's 20 degrees, but this makes sense. So I want to actually map this entire zone out right here, because in terms of time, this is where it absolutely must turn around in terms of being a bearish setup. Any type of higher low, higher high, pivoting and extensioning beyond this point, and I'm telling you, Ethereum's gonna take the fuck off, take off, like fly. Like if we like pivot up here like this, like a pennant or some shit, then this thing would just rocket up there. Might sound crazy, but let's be realistic in terms of what could happen. This network upgrade is gonna be huge. Oh shit! I also forgot something. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, so I hope you guys didn't lose. I'm gonna check my stream real quick. Let's see it. Moving on. So this is gonna be very interesting. Looking at RSI, I'm gonna consider this bullish divergence. So if I'm looking at this, look how wonderful this worked on RSI. So your point, you're actually, I'm gonna tell you a very specific target now Very specific target for where Ethereum should stop. Very specific. Cause I see something. Let's say it's gonna wick right here, curl right here, and drop. Or it'll close right here. So one of the two things is gonna happen. It's gonna be very interesting. I'll show you that trick later on, people. Much to learn, much to learn for all of us. Very interesting here. Development there. It's sort of a bearish structure, but there's no such thing. Hidden bearish divergence and hidden bullish divergence. Okay, let me tell you. Hidden bearish divergence in an uptrend is more likely to be fake, and hidden bullish divergence in a downtrend is more likely to be fake. But hidden bullish in an uptrend is more likely to be real, and hidden bearish in a downtrend is more likely to be real. Remember those 2 points. Those are very, very, very important points if you're going to understand market, like, I guess, motion or emotion. I don't know what the hell you want to call it. But very important you remember that. Because there's a lot of times where traders will see this as a bearish divergence, right? Whatever. And sure it is. I guess it technically calls for a retrace. But people think it's like an end all be all short to the grave type thing. And no, it's not. You see here we pivoted. And now we're potentially attacking that same high. And these shorters right here are gonna be super fucking spooked if they didn't close their positions. So it's gonna be very interesting to see what happens as we approach this zone. I'm assuming some volatility will happen in either direction. Currently, I'll tell you right now, currently I'm not in the market, but I'm very interested to see how we pivot over the next day or two. If you get a very solid pivot without a good retrace, maybe flag up here of some sort, like a flag, or even down flag, I don't care. Flag is something, flag me. Then we could expect this to be 1, 2 of like a small degree, 3, and then we could really start moving, pivot for actual 3, and then 5 to finish us off. This, in terms of market structure, we're looking for a 5-wave impulse. No doubt about it. At least a 1-to-1. Well, I'll actually tell you. Bare minimums are 0.6. Bitch, I always do that. Bare minimums are 0.6. Which is basically where we're at. This zone right here, which is, I'm not going to map it out because it's basically that. This zone right here as well. And then also this red dead zone, or the red zone, I'll actually call it. If you don't know what the red zone is, it's 0.935 and 0.886. So don't be shorting this because you see hidden bearish divergence. We're in an uptrend, dummies. Don't be doing that. I'm not saying you're dummies, but don't be a dummy. And short a hidden bearish divergence in an uptrend. people mistakenly use RSI as a tool to measure overbought and oversold, bearish and bullish divergences as it ends means, and it's absolutely not supposed to be used like that. Absolutely not. 0% like that. And if you do, you're fucking yourself. It is a momentum indicator if you use it correctly, and if you adjust the settings a little bit. Luckily, I did that for us, so yeah, we Gucci. And you don't have to change anything on your guys at all. I left my settings open so I could adjust some things if markets change, because markets can change, and this setting may not work for this market anymore. You may not know it, but when you switch to Forex, the settings slightly change. Anyways, moving on. And also let me tell you this: once RSI breaks this 58.60 point, what likes to happen is price likes to accelerate, like really accelerate. For example, poked it, flew up. Poked it, flew up. Poked it, flew up. Missed it, retraced heavily. Hit it, flew up. Well, the reason why we flew up past here is because we retraced heavily, but we pivoted well, and it left this liquidity open for people to get attacked, these shorters, and ran them. So, at this point, this one did not hit 58, it hit 56. 58 is the magic number we're going for, which is right there, right at 58. So I'm telling you, it's going to be very interesting in terms of what's going to happen in price action over the next day or two. Very interesting. If buyers step in from the open in a few hours, right? The London Open, this can move. This can move, especially when everybody's like, "Oh shit, the upgrades in what, a week?" What's the fucking date? Sounds like in 10 days. In my opinion, Ethereum should not correct. But it's very unfortunate I didn't get in, because it really hurts your risk to reward ratio stepping in right now. It really does. Makes me like not even want to enter along. Makes me just want to sit out and see if I see any weakness on the top side. It's just too much resistance to be wanting along that, you know. Although I do believe this wrecking to get taken off. Sorry, my mouse died. I just feel like that top is wrecking to be taken off. Let's also change this color to clear for now. Okay, don't need it. Let's also delete all this shit. someone keeps saying we received the highest record of volume. I don't see that. Where is everybody seeing this? In the weekly? Because if I'm looking at that, that looks like shit. It looks like booty volume. Booty. Monthly? Is it monthly? Booty. Daily? Nothing close to that. Or any of these. 10 hour? Again, this grouping over here is still more. 6 hour. Again, you still have more over here. That's still larger. 4. What's very interesting is most of it came in like, it's gonna seem like 1 hour. One like very short. So that's actually really bullish in terms of when the volume, like, see how kind of spotty this was over time. This is all one move. So this could signify that there's a lot of people stepping in right now. In terms of how this one was, where it's kind of spotty, like I don't know. This one people are more confident, probably due with the fork coming up. So they're just like, I'm more willing to risk it because previously in the past, every fucking fork there was, the coin exploded for some reason. I know this is not the same type of fork, but when you read the text in the upgrade, one can easily see and read it and get that and take away from it that the upgrade is gonna make the price of Ethereum more due to the fact that it's making it more difficult. Let's make sure for miners to get what they used to get back. So what was it called? Less of reward. The reward for mining is not as great anymore for Ethereum as it once was. We're in log now. Is that why? It's like, why are we hitting this trend line that we weren't hitting before? So I'm gonna keep this up because that's a good trend line to be drawing. In terms of log. In terms of trend lines, I usually like linear and close time frames like this, like really close time frames. I usually go linear. High time frames log, obviously, because you're not gonna get the right thing from linear high time frame. So we're gonna check one more angle. Okay. You could probably even take it off of this. I just like to get every single logical. I absolutely hate that. Like, I'm right on top of it, but it still does not want to click it. Right there. Channel lines are so important. So if Ethereum could hold the pivot above, this right there, that pivot right there, that'd be solid. 100% solid. Like 100% solid. Turn to 4 hour. It was a very easy plan to 4 hour in terms of if you're using my RSI rules. How I teach my traders to, you can, a lot of the times the blow off, these, see how almost nearly every move has like a move that kind of wicks kind of far, and then that's the last basically the last move. That's the blow off top or blow off whatever you call it, bottom, and usually it's, you don't have to really disregard it, but you could get divergences by ignoring that. See how that double bottoms basically at this point, instead of before it was regular motion, you know. But now it's more of a double bottom. At this point it was bullish divergence, not bearish. So what you did, if you run with my system, it was very, I even pointed it out on a few live streams. If we could maintain this zone right there, we call it a certain thing in my group, we're going to be maintaining bullishness. And that point was literally that. This, look how clutch that cluster would have got you. That one retest right there. Bang. Had 1, 2, and maybe 3 chances of getting that buy. And that's it. If you don't know why I chose that range, then go in my Discord group and go to the value range section, and you will learn everything about this section in terms of how to understand a reversal and how to understand when divergences are true and false. Moving on, let's go into the little guts, because I'm very interested in, I really am. Like I do, like I don't want to FOMO, but like I said, I'm interested to see how we're gonna retrace here. This is, let's see, 5 A B C. I'll actually say this is the leading expanding diagonal right there. Actually, I like that for a fact. That looks like clean as day. Retraces deep, which it does. Usually a leading diagonal or diagonals like that retrace to a point 886. So be very mindful of this. Let's see where this retraces to. It's for future reference. So I'm going to show you guys, like, this stuff I'm saying is not bullshit. Look at that. Boom. It's one of my favorite plays too. And leading diagonal. You short it to the red box. the red zone. And you long the fuck out of it. So again, like, one has to ask, what's this price action here? Is this 1, 2, 1, 2, like 3, 4, 5? Like, it's very peculiar. This 1, 2. This is all 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going up for wave 5 and wave possible 3, which would make sense in terms of where the volatility will happen. It's either going to happen to wave 3 of wave 5 or wave 5 of wave 3. So right now, in my opinion, we're in wave 3. In my opinion. That's not a 1. And that's a 1. 2. In order for this to be a 3, this absolutely needs to get over this point. If it's a 1 to 1, then we start getting really bullish. I'm looking at specifically this range. I call it this is a breaker right here. This is a breaker. Specifically, this right there. That close is your breaker close. So I'll be eyeing that as a possible turnaround spot in future price action. And I think this is what? The 2.2 extension like that? So if you didn't buy in, in my opinion, I wouldn't buy in right now. I'm not going to. I'm not going to FOMO, even though I really wish I got picked up. I just put my order. I didn't think the correction was over. That's why. I thought we had another low to possibly make, and I thought I was gonna go not a low, but I thought I was gonna get another deep retrace off my quick scan. Okay, like I said, I got stopped out here. Okay, at first, like I said, I thought this was some sort of 5, and then I got stopped out. Like, okay, it's not a 5. And then it turned out to be whatever. If this, like I said, if this pivots like a flag of some sort, I'll probably be a buyer in anticipation this is, no, this is going to be 5. Which makes sense. Like I said, that'll make sense in terms of where the volatility will happen. It usually happens in wave 5 of wave 3, or wave 3 of wave 5. Right now we're in wave 3 or 4 of 3. And we want to get in on 5 if it is indeed true. Because usually the 5s move in 3s, or the whole entire structure of 5 moves as an extension. So it's something to be aware of, okay? I just don't really see it unless something catastrophically bad happens in a network of Ethereum, a collapse of some sort over the next few days. I just don't see it turning over or pivoting and just rolling completely over from this point. I know longs are really fucking high right now, but the more you line them up, the more blood you spill, the more money your banker friends and everybody else's big money makes. So they like that more people are stepping up right now. Because inherently, this is still a very bearish structure. I know in terms of market geometry, we completed a 3 and we can't break out for a 5. Because in terms of Elliott wave, all you need from a 5-wave impulse to make a pivot, a signified pivot, is a 3-wave impulse in the opposite direction. This was a 5-wave impulse. Not starting from this point. It was one previous pivot that Coinbase does not have, but is on Kraken. And this made the 3-wave impulse in the opposite direction. So that is what's bullish about it. I guess I already went over that. But this structure is inherently bearish due to us being down underneath this resistance. This huge shelf we have here. I'm not even going to map it out because I essentially have that here. And so, like I said, this could just be a big ass X wave. A, B, C. And then we roll over for any number of things. If, like I said, if the upgrade goes fantastically well, nothing absolutely happens to it, then I'll post this video. Don't worry, I'm pretty sure I will have it saved, and I'll post this video for everybody in my Discord on the YouTube live section. So don't feel left out if you feel like you were left out, because you most definitely will not be left out from my full analysis. All right, continuing on. So again, it's very important that we understand Ethereum could have found a bottom, which could be as bottoming signal for an entire cryptocurrency market, and I wouldn't be mad about that. Would not at all. Yeah, with my inherently bearish overlook of like the next whatever few years or whatever you want to call it will be overthrown, but I don't care because I'll still make money. And that's the aspect of the game. No emotions. We just care about the ends goal, which is making our portfolios bigger than it was then it's the morning you woke up. So at this point, like I said, if we form like a flag up here, go sideways, I'm telling you, you don't want to long it. There's gonna be people shorting it. Stupid ass PA traders thinking this is gonna be good enough resistance, but Elliott Wave will tell you when it's good enough resistance. If we get up here, wick, and retrace, if we retrace this entire this last leg of this in my opinion, last leg of this possibly X wave of the ABC, then it'll retrace this faster than it will to get to the top, and then less complexity than it did to get to the top. Primarily in a three-way structure. And sometimes it's three-way structure, if it is indeed a complete turnaround, turns into a five-way structure into the depths of hell. And then let's go over structure again. If you weren't here for my last talk in terms of Ethereum market geometry and structure, it's fairly simple in terms of what we could expect. It's not many things at this point that Ethereum could do in terms of market geometry. Like I said, we could have found a bottom. This could be 1, 2. All this could be a subwave of 3. Like I said, this could all be 3. If we form a flag, I'm telling you, you're gonna want to long it. If we form like a flag like this, then I'm expecting this to be 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, you're not. It has to be a breakout, like literally a breakout. We'll be quick on our toes. I'm not trying to be bullishly hoping I'm gonna pull fucking like bullshit down your ears. It's being realistic and what you could expect, and we're gonna be ready for it if it does happen, or we're gonna be ready on the opposite side if it does happen the other way. In terms of so I was just seeing where typically if we get a primary wave 3, it'll extend to like a 2.36 like this. Like I was guessing, but it went a little high, so we're gonna see how this goes. This is gonna be very interesting. If it doesn't form this bullish structure, it's fairly simple. After a major drawdown or move, you expect major trend lines to be broken. So let's hide this one real quick. Hide. So let's go into this. I don't need this here. We don't need alleyways there. Just leave it. Yeah, I just very interested in this. Very interested. So from this point, like I said, either we're gonna flag, make a breakout. We'll break down this in little structure like even more than what I did earlier, just to make sure we're on the same page. In terms, because I want, if like I said, I do expect it to be bullish up until the fork. Will it be foolish to long in this zone? Right now, yes. We need more confirmation of this being a pivot. Just like maybe like another 2 to 4 hour closes, and then be solid for a long risking it with this resistance over our head that we would pierce through it wrecking those shorters, thinking they could get that easy short. But it's just, that's not how it happens. In my opinion, corrections are not done until tops are taken off or bottoms are taken off. What does that mean? So see how that made a bottom? The correction wasn't over until that bottom was taken off. Same thing with here. Moved up, made a top. This correction's not over until this top's taken off. Or we could break out, like I said. There's two opportunities here. In terms of market structure beyond this, we could form. The lowest low I'll ever give Ethereum is around the $22, $25 range. Absolutely lowest low, if I'm not mistaken. Somewhere right there. I would really expect the $55 to $48 range to hold. And so there's a few structures I'm very interested in, because this could form a WXY, and then this right here will be like either a triangle and I'll go to like a 1-to-1 of this extension in time, so it'll be pretty drastic in terms of sidewaysness. You just go all the way like this. A, B, C, D, E, and then you break out for new highs. Or you'll get a 5-wave impulse. A fat impulse breaking these lows. In my opinion, we won't make a 5-wave impulse to a dex. Like, it won't be a 5-wave impulse like that. In my opinion, it won't. It's either gonna form a flat for a bottom, like a double bottom for a flat. A, B, C. Maybe it make it a little high, might make it a little low. Who knows? But in my opinion, I don't think we'll make a 5-wave impulse to the depths of hell. I think we'll make a flat of a Y or a triangle for a Y. If I'm getting my rules correct here. Yep. Double 3. Any correction, not a double 3 or double zigzag, or a triple zigzag or triple 3. That's the rule for the Y leg in a WXY double 3. Well, it's actually a zigzag, so you'd actually expect it to be a zigzag then. Because this is obviously more of a zigzag, you know. So it would actually more likely make a 3-wave zigzag. So we will break the lows in a 3-wave impulse. It'll be rather sideways too. It won't be as impulsively down as this. It'll be rather sideways. This won't be like a great opportunity to get massive gains, like how this was massive gains throughout the year or something. The downside is definitely more limited towards, in terms of longevity, like where the greater bets will be in terms of long term than the upside. These bottoms will be sought out quicker. Yep, fairly simple. Fairly simple. Lowest, like I said, as lowest is this. I just don't think we'll get below this. This definitely is going to cause for a bounce. Something like this, honestly. Sideways as shit. It'll be super sideways, like super sideways. It'll probably even break these trend lines, honestly. Or come really close to it. Like really close to it. like that, maybe. Who knows? It has it in terms of if we break down, it has to form a zigzag. Absolutely has to form a zigzag. There's nothing else that can form unless it's a fiber impulse, but I just don't think it'll do that. There's no way they're gonna take it down to fucking like $10 or fucking $5. There's no way, dude. So that'd be a catastrophic collapse of the Ethereum network if it gets that low. In terms of other coins and dApps and stuff like that on the network, it'd be absolutely catastrophic and horrible, detrimental to what they're trying to do. So in my opinion, it just makes more sense that we only form a zigzag beyond this point. So I'm very confident into what is going to happen beyond this point for Ethereum. Bitcoin's a little more up to grabs because there's a lot more downside to Bitcoin, and so that means there's a lot more ideas that can be formulated from that. Yes, Ethereum can go to 0. Yes, it can go to 20, whatever, $10, but it's just highly unlikely in my opinion. Sorry, how many days is this? 10 days? Seven days. And to the actual fork is 9 days. Yeah, I just don't like. I don't see us doing. I just don't see us doing this. That would make no sense. No sense. I mean, I guess if a wave 3, but that would make no sense breaking down that low. You break over the trend line and just break back down. That make. I missed the link with Sean's post over it. Is it on? Hold on. What do you mean? Well, see what is a breaker? What do you mean, Michael Knight? See what is a breaker? I don't know what that means. And also, Noza, Sean posted a link with his count. Where? Let's check that out real quick. In Discord, I'm assuming, obviously. Ethereum chat, maybe? Oh, here it is. Oh. Yeah, I'm assuming he's agreeing with me that we're in some sort of 3. That's what it seems like he's saying. Any sort of sideways in this is a buy. One move up, one more move up. So yeah, he's assuming we're in a 3, which I agree. We're either in a subwave of 3. In my opinion, we're in a subwave of 3. There's not enough price action developed yet to signify this is the end of 3. So. Funny. So I'm just going over a few. I was reading some questions real quick. All right, so I'll get out of that. No, I know what you mean, Noza, but I was also just looking at Sean's count to make sure we're kind of on the same page. I'd like to be on the same page with Sean. I'd rather be on the same page than not. Me and him tend to be on the same page with a lot of things, and when we are, it tends to work out very well. When we are, usually it's a fucking mess. When we aren't. Yeah, to me it just wouldn't make sense if we just retrace so far. The only thing that makes me scared is the fact that Bitcoin just looks like a piece of shit. Like, it looks horrible. It just looks bad. It looks really bad. So that's why you have to monitor your position as much as possible if you're going to try along this, because this Bitcoin does not look good. And that means if Bitcoin don't look good, technically the rest of the market shouldn't look good. But the rest of the market seems to be moving, so we'll see what the hell happens. This is definitely, let's go really quick in here. 15-minute time frame. So this, in my opinion, this, let's see here. Okay, quick divergence. I don't need this here. I don't need that here. Off those tops. Lower low. That's a pretty nasty wick. So let's actually get, see how this could be an A, B, C. That's actually all could be done. That actually could be the correction. And we move up from this point on, to be honest. Or this also can be this right here. One of my favorite rules is how the fifth wave breaks. Like I said, how to signify a end of a trend. First of all, the subwave structure is pretty shitty. Like, is this 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, and then we're coming up for the fifth wave and the third leg. It's pretty terrible. I can't call this 3-4. That's just, you can't. Absolutely, you just can't. You know, you cannot call that a 3-4. So the only thing that makes sense is a stupid 1, 2, 1, 2. So 1, 2, then a 1, 2, 3. It's not really pretty. It's not pretty at all. Made it expanding. No. Makes more sense like this. See, what would have been ideal was if so it's pretty close in terms of time. This got up a little bit quicker than this got down, and this didn't clear the entire structure of this impulse up. So technically this wasn't a signified end of a trend until that zone's broken. But that was a pretty hefty retrace after a pivot on top. So it's just something to be very aware of. If you're interested in long, I'm probably not gonna long it. I'm just, like I said, I think I'm more interested to see if I got a good short, like a good big kahuna short at the end. And I'll just be like trading FX, see what happens. I want something very clear and distinct. Very clear and distinct. 1, 2. This subwave structure is very subjective. Very subjective. This all could be 3, 4. I don't know. This is 1, 2. To me, this subwave structure is missing a 3, 4 somewhere. And we have one more leg up in this subwave. At least in this subwave. And then we'll see how we pivot like if it's gonna be an impulsive structure, I expect this to hit a 1-to-1. If we don't hit this 1-to-1 pretty soon, I'm gonna be extremely subjective in this count being a 1, 2, 3. In my honesty, it'll drastically change the count to a 1, 2, 3, a Shweko Weko 4, then a 5. Like, who knows? But we'll see. We'll see for sure. So now that we covered crypto, we can move on to the next class of things, which is going to be FX. In terms of plays in the markets in crypto, let's just see if I can see anything, like a quick trade we can make, if there's anything here. This structure is not the prettiest structure to try to gauge. You could even say this is 1. So this entire structure is very interesting. It's very interesting. Very subjective in terms of what you can count as your end pivots, your start pivots. And this 1, 2. To me, that would make no sense if this is 3, 4. Because this is kind of looks like a 5-way impulse, but this retraces is very ugly. But in a leading diagonal, it's possible. It's possible that could happen. It didn't really make a. I mean, it kind of made a wedging shape. Not the best. Not the best. So, like I said, we can't rule that out. That's why it's very subjective to see exactly where the pivot is. But do we really count for the subwave count? Not really. Not really. What I'm just worried about is how we retrace right here. I'm not gonna rush anything. I expect some sort of sideways for a few hours. So if we stay in this range for a few hours, right here, I'll long it. The anticipation is 1-to-1 being hit at least, shooting for that 1.236, and then hopefully get the bulls smoking. I mean the bears smoking off the heinies, covering the shorts, and then this top will just get taken off because the shorts will start collapsing. Boom, 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 and that'll shoot us up to our 3.6 target, and then we will retrace over that, in my opinion. I think our 5th leg up. So for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it's the plan. Right now we're not in any trades, but we're very interested in a long position. I know shorts. I mean longs are in long territory. I know. But I don't mean shit. It really doesn't. There is 2 instances where longs and shorts don't matter the ratio. 1, in a true bear trend. 2, in a true bull trend. And can you signify why? Because at the end of those, or towards the later moves, or like at the halfway moment, you'll start a rollover in terms of how many people are going long and short. Yeah, most of the big money will be in the market way before this happens. Way before. They already made their buck, and at this point, they're already looking to sell. At this point, when these people are starting to come in. But this doesn't mean shit, because look at what during this bull run, you flew up here, right? And then during this bear trend, we flew up here a few times. It was pretty drastic. I know we instantly got shot down, but in terms of where this could go, it's not at the max, you know. So I'd really expect those points for sure to be some sort of barrier to this. What is this? Very interesting. Hold on, let me move this. Okay. Yeah, I would say definitely around about here. So there, this range right here, honestly, next to that. If we could stay in this little range right here, then it's gonna be very interesting. This seems to be the, if we break over this and we're in the, I guess out bull trend, because that's how it was last time we broke up this area. We were actually moving a really bullishly trend, like bullish trend. Shorts can keep dumping. There's no reason for these to. I mean, there is reasons to turn around, but it's not at its lowest possible point yet. In my opinion, I know some people say you don't do Elliott waves on this shit, but look at this shit. How can you refute this? Like, this is a 5-wave impulse right there. And this was sort of a 5-wave impulse too. 1, 2, or an ABC, followed by an ABC, 5-wave impulse. That's funny. So I just like going over little details while I'm looking at shit. Alright, so now that we kind of got our understanding of what we should expect from Bitcoin and Ethereum moving forward, we could now move over to the FX side, cover those few pairings that we're interested into getting into. So let's step away from this, go over to this, and now we're on FX. So this is like I didn't mean to meme this, but yeah, it's finally getting our sell set up potentially here, which could be extremely bullish for other markets. In terms of market structure, this is just absolutely atrocious. Like, I don't know what you want to call that. Don't at all. Absolutely don't. This is not a clean 5-wave impulse to call it a 5. I can't call this a 5-wave impulse, so I can't call this 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Can't. So the only thing I see for this thing is a 1, 2, Shweka Weko 3, 4. So it's gonna be. This is how you trade this too. You don't short the top of this stupid thing. Well, you can, but then you have to monitor your position. If you want to trade with no stress, this is how you do it. In terms of Elliott wave and structures and stuff like that. Once a pretty significant trend line is broken, this is a pretty significant trend line, you expect some sort of flagging pattern or consolidation pattern that consolidates in the opposite direction of the previous move, and sets up a sell or buy structure setup opposing the prior trend. one of the key aspects of this though is you really want this to break that low, or at least attack it. You know, this one attacked it. It got really close. This one right here, that was pretty far down there. You know, that was like pretty far. You know, so like didn't really attack it as much as you really wanted to. That's very close. So this has a very good chance to all being one leg and breaking that low. And then we're going to see how we consolidate. If we break this low like this and it's all one swift move, because all, in my opinion, this is all still one swift move. If this breaks this low and all one swift move, and we create this flag, actually a sell signal for DXY, 100%. DXY is done. It's simple how it works. This is how it works. At the moment, we have some really good hidden bullish divergence. Really, really good hidden bullish divergence. So let's say play this. You really don't want your higher time frames to break under, like, it's 2 hour, you probably really don't want it to get under 40. 4 hour, you probably don't want it to get under 40 as well. 6 hour, like 50. You'd rather your 10 hour and daily stay above this, get above the 60 range, or stay above that 60 range. That would be really bullish. If your daily got above, that would be really bullish. You see, we double topped there, so in terms of pivoting, a daily close beneath, it's very simple. It's so simple. It's not, like I said, daily close beneath this close right here, and you're done. Which is approximately this. So this number. You see your MAs were starting to roll over here, so that's very bearish. These are actually really, they're on a higher time frame. These are really good signals in terms of catching the trend. Yeah, you won't get the top or bottom because obviously RSI, it shows weaknesses earlier, and strengths earlier. Or I guess you say it shows weaknesses in this previous trend and strengths into the next trend fairly well. So when they initially cross, you don't initially expect it for a downside in terms of larger market geometry. Like you see here, we crossed here, but we still went up here. And then this is when we actually made its high here. And then we roll over like this. Boom, boom. And it works fairly well. I know this would have got you in some trouble if you're just following on this time frame. This close here. I'll look at Trading Room's chart right now. So this one would have stopped you out if it would have been monetizing risk management. You would have been in with a stop loss there. You would have got a good gain at first, but you would have got out at the wrong time. That's a problem. But with this one, it worked fairly well. We'll see where it crosses over. Got you in right here in this candle. So we got you in that close somewhere. And so far, you're still in this trade. Yes, the setup that they have here for the 2 hour and the 4 hour is really bullish. Really bullish. It's a really bullish setup. Especially this 2 hour. Be eyeing this 2 hour like a mother freaking hawk the next few days. If you just follow my RSI system, this is very simple to follow. 0, 1, 2. You have the axis here, which is way down here. You see we're still close to breaking these. Yeah, your RSI is getting under them. but every time we get under them, we fail to create a new low on price action, so it lets the RSI reset, creating a positive divergence, aka hidden bullish divergence, and uptrends are more value than your hidden bullish on a downtrend, and more likely to be true. So this is going to be very interesting to see how we pivot here. Like I said, I'm not interested in any position at this moment besides like scalps. But even then, I'm not really interested in anything at this moment. I want a good swing for this month. I want a good swing. I want to really focus on the website this month. Get it done. I don't want to trade that much. I want to focus on the website. I want to get a few swings in, like weekly trades, and that's it. I don't want to be trading every day for this month. So in terms of market structure, this is what you can expect for stupid DXY, and obviously DXY plays heavily in towards what the rest of the world's going to do. Rest of the world's markets, SPY, Nasdaq, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Forex markets, all matters. Like I said, we need this low to be broken, preferably pretty soon. If we pivot here, which it looks like we are, it looks like this structure right here looks like it broke the market structure. So we'll see how this goes. There's slightly hidden bearish divergence right there, which is more value in a downtrend. So it is likely we roll over actually, and roll over one more time. If we do this, like I said, I'll be really confident in this being our breakdown. And then we make this flag here, and then we really break down at this point. If we stay above this point, expect to pivot and to break these highs and run these shorts. So what's that do for some of these other setups we're eyeing? This is going to be peculiar. If you got in this position, you may want to get out because we got in like potentially right there. So let's see here. Let's get back. What price is that? So you'll be like a penny's gain if you're a small trader or whatever, or a few bucks gain if you're a trader. But you could at least close out in a break even or slight little profit, or just cover the fees at least. And the reason why I say that is because DXY hasn't officially made its official breakdown, and you want to be more concrete with that. Now, yen did exactly what you needed it to do in terms of a breakdown to signify. I got you, brother. To signify a breakdown. See this? How much time does this take? Let's do this real quick. 1 day, 12 hours, and we'll get this pivot right here, this low. 1 day, 8 hours. So less time. In my opinion, less complexity. In my opinion, you can get like a pivot there, and another shoot up here. And this one has it's like one pivot right here maybe. So, and now we're creating like a flaggish pattern, but due to DXY holding some trend lines and pivots, we cannot just run into these things. And it's very important that we also see this trend line right here, which is our main trend line. It's still being respected, so gotta pay attention to everything. What's really peculiar is now there's 4 hours underneath this. If we can't get back over 60, it's gonna be very bad for this pairing, specifically this number. Honestly, watch our side to create a flag as well. 0.3 or 0.35, anywhere from 0.25 to 0.35, or 3.5, whatever, or 2.5, depending on what market you're in. Yeah, this is GPY is definitely on my radar. We're gonna keep eyeing this one. I set alert for this trend line because if this trend line breaks, I expect some volatility. Copy this. Okay, let's move on from this. Euro's doing some weird shit. Not really sure what the hell he's doing. This structure looks like a flat, a bearish flat, and it's gonna keep going down further. Honestly, that's what it looks like. We created a 5-wave impulse. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So at first, I thought this was a potential 1, 2, a weird struggle of 3, 4, 5, and then an ABC. We created another 5, and we created an ABC flat. But as soon as we broke this low here, it just kind of throws that off. It is potential that we created A, and then we're going to create a weird ass B. This complete mess of sideways action for a few days. If we go sideways like this, I'm long the fuck out of it. Essentially, okay? You might be thinking, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? This is literally the only bullish setup I see from Euro USD from this point. Is if we create if this is all A, B, C, and this is all an A wave, A, and we create like a triple zigzag combo, like a W, X, Y, X, Z, something like that, sideways as fuck, and then creates an A, B, and then C to correct this move, and then probably break even further to lows. I need to study a little bit more onto like Brexit and stuff, but in my opinion, I feel like the euro, that Britain's not as in bad shape as people say they are. Usually, when there's a lot of talk about something really bad, you know how that goes, or something really good, you know how that goes. So, will it be the same instance here? It's very interesting. So yeah, this is either going to be a bullish flag, consolidation sideways to a breakout, or we're going to, if we clear this low, short the shit out of it. Like, short the living shit out of it. Like, literally, just like, go as far as you can with it. Short. As far as possible. As far as possible. Okay? Because this will get to a 1-to-1 of this move, whatever how that is. Okay, moving on from that. What else is very peculiar? This is coming back towards our max tension. So this seems to be, we got this count a little incorrect, it seems like. Now one has to ask, can you even trust this wick? I don't know. It's very hard to trust like really quick wicks like that, especially wicks that come in like a minute candle. It's like very tough to, like, do you trust that? Like, it's a I'm pretty sure it's a minute candle. Somewhere over here. No, it's like a, what, 15-minute candle then? 30 minutes, it was a 30-minute candle. So it's very... What's not good is this. Well, actually, this is what I'm saying. In an uptrend, hidden bearish divergence is not really important. It's not really as true as you think it is. Because this is technically going to be some sort of hidden bearish divergence, right? Pretty much equal tops here with an extremely lower RSI, so that's technically a hidden discrepancy in RSI and price, so that's a divergence. But like I said, as soon as RSI hits the 60 range, it usually likes to move a little bit. So it could be this. This all could be A, B, or WX, and we're coming up for an ABC as well, or a 5-way impulse. So A, B, C, or we create a 5-way and pivot again for 5. This structure is very peculiar. There is not many things left. Anyways, we're almost done here. What was another thing we're interested? CAD, USD CAD. Let's run our last few things. Let's see, man, a complete retrace. So, a few things. This looks like now a completed move, and sometimes it happens. This also could be a weird ass flat. So, a true breakdown would only come after the pivot breaks, in my opinion, this line right here. That'd be a true breakdown. Like this, can't really see it going anywhere north after this low is taken out. We got really no hidden bearish divergences anywhere. Like I said, this could be a completed move A, B, C. We broke the high there, so I know we didn't really break the high, but we did break the high, technically. So we have to respect the aspect that this could be a completed structure. In terms of time, you need it at least to be at 0.7 within range of this first move. It's not there. It's 1/3 range. Right on the dot, 1/3 range. Because it's supposed to, your corresponding waves of a structure that should be no less than 1/3 difference. So no less than 1/3 difference is, you get 2/3 left of time that has to match. You can only account for 1/3 of the time to be different. So if you take that, that means you can only account for 1/3 of a 1-to-1, which is like 0.7 or whatever point. It's 0.33 or whatever. And I don't know what the backwards is, but 0.33 minus 1, whatever the fuck that is. Like 67. like 67 and 33 are your max extensions in time that you could ask for a discrepancy. So this is very interesting. This could be all just be an ABC. So, like I said, this low is the low that signifies a bear trend again, right here. This looks kind of like a weird flat. We're going like relatively sideways, not really going anywhere crazy. We'll see how this low holds. If this low holds right here, and then we break this trend line here, we'll probably long this, honestly, you guys. It wouldn't be a bad setup. I see a structure here that could be possibly valid. But we would absolutely need this trend line to be broken. We're gonna get a warning of this one being broken, and then we'll look for this one to be broken to long it on any consolidation above it. I don't know exactly how it'll consolidate or how it'll move, but this is an example. Next, that was pretty interesting for the extension further. Might even want to long that. Hit that final range you expected it to. Dollars dropping like a rock. Ethereum did make that new high there. So let's dive back into Ethereum real quick. USD GPY. What are you doing over here? Alright, you guys. There's really nothing left to go on beside that in terms of markets. We've covered basically everything in terms of what we could expect in the next few days, and what we could expect and how to trade things if we get certain setups. And if you're in my group, I'll post this link, or I'll post the video, the recording of this, whatever you want to call it, in our Discord, as well as the 6 charts that I went through: USD GPY, USD CAD, USD CHF, I don't know if I said Euro USD already. Euro USD, obviously DXY, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and I might throw in TUSD. Alright. So, my traders, it's been lovely. Your boy's back. Your boy's fucking back. So I might short this depending on how this plays out. This could be an A and a B and a C. I'm very interested in this short. Quick little flop here. Would make sense in terms of what happened down here in this structure. Made a flat as well. And this looks like a 1-2, right? 3, 4. Right? Maybe I won't be too interested in a short. I'm more interested in a long. After the retrace. So let's get specific zones to expect a retrace to. Max potential zones. We're obviously gonna shoot for my algo target of the month. Should be algo target of the fucking year. It's been working so well in terms of getting this, nabbing this. And I also always like to display the golden box just in case we get down there. So like, oh shit. Warning. A 1-to-1 right at this base. So I don't know if we want to identify that, because you just shoot for the base. You don't have to really look at anything. Just look for the base. I never go exactly at the base either. I always go a little bit above. Yeah, you can wick below a little bit, but whatever. Close 80% at like 1% above the base or whatever, a few pips above the base, and then let the rest ride and hope it's like, not hope, but let's ride into the greater targets. But this definitely looks like some sort of flat that's forming here. Definitely. Let's look at a smaller time frame. We got some sort of divergence here, like this point right there, which is right here. We already tested this. It's already happened. Okay, I actually might like this short a lot. The reason why I might like this short a lot, I have to look at Bitcoin one more time. It's because we got little bearish divergence right here on price action, on volume. We don't have much resistance left above us. But one thing that's interesting me is that we tested this X point right here, right? We tested it, right? We bounced right off it. Or we actually went below it. So, went below the X point. Retraced up, but we failed so far to close and make any significant highs prior to resetting the RSI, because technically after you reset the RSI or whatever your thing is, it should move up, should have enough energy to move back up. But when it doesn't, or move back down, but when it doesn't, it signifies that hey, your current trend is losing some steam. Your positive or negative is no longer working anymore. So honestly, I'm gonna take this trade. It's gonna be simple stop loss placement. Just look at what's not good. Like, this doesn't look very impulsive at all. So I might honestly take this trade short real quick. It's very simple setup. Shooting for this yellow line. 2.3 risk to reward ratio. I'm gonna look at the 15-minute. Oh yeah. Come on. I need you. 1.0104. So 1.104. 104 times 1.55 equals 1.566, and you add that to what time frame is? Ah, shit. Did we just? Where's the time? I hate when I don't do that. If you guys are wondering where I'm getting my stop loss from, right here. That number right there. And you just multiply it with the formula I provided you guys. Where the heck is the time? The countdown. I swear it was right here. Interesting. Oh, yeah, yes. Apply all. So, ideally, I'm going to wait till we get within like 3 minutes or 2 minutes within this 15-minute close. Because ideally, with this, so let me show you real quick. The math to this is, let me show you real quick. Background, simple description, nope. See, it says stop loss equals ATR # is a multiple sign, 1.55 plus or minus close, depending on your trade. You don't be a dummy. You don't want to put plus or minus in terms of your stop loss placement, right? If you're short, you're not gonna fucking minus your position for your stop loss. It makes no sense. That'd be a target. So, in this instance, stop loss equals your ATR times 1.5. Our ATR is 1.0347. In these smaller time frames, it's more subjective. So like the best you can get it to work in 15 minutes for sure. In scout modes and stuff like that. But your best aspects are always going to be your like hourly and stuff like that, and your 30-minute works well as well. 30-minute is 1.53. So actually go up to 30-minute real quick. 1.5397 times 1.55 equals 2.38. But you see this, this 30-minute candle actually closes at the same basically time, which is pretty cool. So we got 8 minutes to this close. So 7 minutes 50 seconds. So I think we're gonna play off this 30-minute time frame, and we're gonna hope that we don't break down immediately. We'll have this trend line just in case to kind of warn us, I guess, that we missed the boat. In my opinion, a break of this close of that trend line is pretty bullish, and we shouldn't expect that if this is indeed where we turn around for now and get some sort of consolidation going sideways. So your stop loss for this one will be a little bit different. Let's do this real quick. 1.5397 times 1.55 equals 2.386 plus. Let's just go off this one right now. This is a guesstimation. 1.5. 37. So your stop loss is that as of right now. I wouldn't use a stop loss right now because you want your closing candle as close as possible to closing time when you get your ATR. The closer you are, the more true your average true range will be, obviously, right? Because you're letting more time develop within that time frame. And that would be your stop. I know that was pretty large stop, so we might actually go with a 1.5. So let's do this. So 2.3. This one and a 130. Okay. So yeah, slightly different. Not bad though. It wasn't horrible. Like not at all that. Not a huge difference. Yeah. So this would give you a pretty poor risk reward ratio. So it probably wouldn't be worth it, in my opinion. Probably wouldn't be worth it. So in terms of the 30-minute time frame, it's probably not a good trade. But in the 15-minute time frame, it's actually a pretty good trade. So we'll actually have, and if you're gonna take this trade, you have to use the 15-minute time frame. If you use the 30-minute time frame, this is too much risk, too little reward. You have to use the 15-minute time frame. Absolutely have to. And what you're watching is you have your RSI crossover here. You're kind of forming a flag in a sense. One thing that's super crucial, if you get a bearish divergence followed by a positive, followed by bearish divergence, that's really bad. But you see, we don't have that yet. If this RSI rolls up a little bit higher, kind of like hits like this pitch like that, then I'll be bearish divergence after the positive, which is very horrible. And this would roll down. But I'm watching this trend line to break on RSI, watching this to roll over, and this over this trend line to break. And this one's a little bit, so it's gonna be a little bit better in terms of your stop loss placement. 1.37 times 1 equals The 137. So this one's a little bit lower. It's not. So that's perfect. That's like literally where exactly the max we want it. So this is definitely a 50-minute time frame play. Again, we want this candle as close as possible to close in order to get the true range of this time frame. You see, you're getting a little pump here, so we're going to see how this develops here. It's going to be very interesting. This doesn't look very impulsive right here at all. So I wouldn't be longing this right now. You're just longing into some resistance and you're hoping and praying. Here's that negative on the smaller time frames. No, not really. Actually, it's not. Not at all. Because these highs are broken. So no negatives here. No bearish divergence there. How about on this time frame? You do got slight bearish right here. Triple top in a sense. Right there. Boom, boom. And price keeps making higher highs, but this RSI just keeps making triple tops. You could refuse that this is a ascending triangle and this could break up to the top, but in my opinion, this is due for some retrace, and I like this as a position. I'm gonna enter this right now just in case. Oh fuck, I might miss this. Here it goes. Okay, I might enter this just because I see a decent setup here. Just A, B, C. So, alright guys, in terms of what to watch for a little scalp play, this looks like a decent play in terms of if you want to get your feet wet. The few FX pairs that we're eyeing, we want a little bit more development to really signify what we want to do with them. Then we could really gauge where we go. So DXY, in my opinion, is moving up at this point, right? Yep, DXY moving up, moving down. It's that simple. All right, you guys. Any last minute questions you want to ask me before I get out of here? Because I could definitely answer them before I get out of here. Just let me know. I'll stay on for like a few more minutes, like 5 more minutes. I'll throw on some tunes back on, get the mood back. Get the mood back, the mood back. Get the mood back, the mood back. Let's see here. Dude. Oh, that butthole, it never works for me on the first try. Five. What? Don't tell me. Very interesting. That's kind of scary. I can't log into my Kraken. Uh-oh. Anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. Alright? It's been a pleasure rocking with y'all. And I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Catch me again on tomorrow around noon Eastern Standard Time. And we'll get it rocking, alright? Cheers. Much love. Peace the fuck out, my people.